Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is my pleasure to rise today during third reading debate in support of Bill C-32 as one of the final speakers on this important legislation to implement some of the key measures from our government's fall economic statement that will bring needed help to Canadians that needed it the most, including in my own riding of Scarborough Centre. I've spoken several times in the House about inflation and the impact it is having on families in my own riding. It seems like everything is more expensive, and for families in Scarborough, which is one of those communities where people are working hard to join the middle class, it is not like it was easy for many families to make ends meet already. The lack of affordable and suitable housing is a long-standing issue. Rising interest rates aren't helping, and in the higher cost of groceries and seemingly everything else, and it leaves many families having to make very difficult choices every month. Housing, transportation, groceries, school outings, and clothes for the children. Paychecks never seem to go far enough. For too many families, it's harder than ever to get ahead. In the spring, we were all focused on the high price of gas. It's still not cheap, but it's down substantially from its peak of over $2 per liter. But groceries and other necessities remain more expensive than usual, and this trend is forecast to continue into the coming year. While my friends across the way may say otherwise, inflation is not a made-in-Canada phenomenon. Groceries are not more expensive because our government stepped up during the pandemic to stop people from losing their homes and businesses from declaring bankruptcy. In fact, our pandemic supports for Canadians, which I recall all members in this House working together to deliver to Canadians expeditiously, saw Canada emerge stronger from the pandemic. We were there for Canadians, and we always will be. Inflation is a global phenomenon, driven by the COVID-0 policy in China, ongoing supply chain disruptions, climate change, impacting the harvest of vital crops, and the war in Ukraine. Canada is not immune from these global pressures. And we have done better than many of our peers. According to a report last month from CTV, Canada had the third lowest inflation rate in the G7 at 6.9%, higher only than France and Japan, and faring much better than the United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, and even the United States. That said, Mr. Speaker, the challenges being faced by many Canadians are very real, and Canadians expect their government to be there to help those that need it the most. You and I don't need help, Mr. Speaker. We can tighten our belts and weather this storm until it passes. But for those families already on the edge, for the seniors on a fixed income, the single mother trying to support her kids on a minimum wage job, these are the people that need targeted assistance. And it is these Canadians we are seeking to help with Bill C-32. I would like to focus on few of the ways we are already helping constituents in my riding that need help the most. By doubling the GST tax credit for 6 months, we are directly helping lower-income seniors and families. Everyone below a certain income threshold is eligible for the GST tax credit, and this increased rebate is already putting money back into the pockets of Canadians that need help the most. A single person with no dependent children can receive up to $234, and a couple with no children up to $306, all the way up to $628 for a couple with 4 children. We are also topping up the Canada Housing Benefit with a $500 one-time payment. Everyone from young people living on their own for the first time to families to seniors on a fixed income are eligible based on their income and how much of their income they pay towards the rent. In short, if you are a family with net income under $35,000 or a single person earning under $20,000 and you pay 30% or more of your income on rent, then you can qualify for this payment. But you need to apply for it. Applications open December 12th, and if you are eligible, I strongly encourage you to go online to apply. We have also launched the Canada Dental Benefit for low-income families with children under the age of 12, which can provide up to $1,300 over 2 years to help with dental costs for eligible families. We expect this program to expand to lower-income seniors next year, and I know it will make a difference for many seniors on a fixed income. If you take care of your teeth, they will take care of you, and this program is meaning lower-income families without employer coverage don't need to neglect their oral health needs. And also, we are working towards a national dental care plan for all Canadians. These are all targeted programs putting more money back into the pockets of lower-income families and seniors. And we are building on these initiatives with Bill C-32. To address housing affordability, we are taking a number of steps, including an anti-flipping rule to discourage people rapidly flipping homes for profit in a short time, driving up the housing prices. Houses should be a home, not a business. Making it easier to save for a down payment with a new tax-free first home saving accounts. Changing the rules around tax on the value of non-resident, non-Canadian owned residential real estate that is considered to be vacant or underused, and also doubling first-time home buyers' tax credit amount from $5,000 to $10,000. I also have a lot of multi-generational households in my riding, and the multi-generational home renovation tax credit will help families make their homes more suitable to their needs. And I'm particularly excited about the elimination of interest on federal Canada student loans and Canada apprentice loans, combined with no requirement for repayments at all until a graduate is making at least $40,000 per year, and this is a significant benefit for our young Canadians. I meet with students groups every year and with individual students all the time in my community, and they have long told me about the burden of graduating with major student debt that weighs them down for years. In real dollars, tuition and other expenses are so much more than when we were in school. Mr. Speaker, even working full-time, it can be hard to keep up. The elimination of federal student loan interest has been welcomed by many stakeholders. For example, the Canadian Alliance of Student Associations, which I met with last week, said, "Big news for students across Canada. Starting on April 1st, 2023, the Government of Canada will remove the interest on Canada student loans. This investment is welcomed by past, current, and future student loan borrowers." And the Public Service Alliance of Canada said, "We are pleased to see help to Canada's most vulnerable in today's economic update, including eliminating student loan interest and payments for thousands of our members and increased funding for the services our members deliver to Canadians every day. By eliminating interest and delaying repayments, we make it easier for young graduates just entering the workforce to begin a family, to begin saving, to enter the housing market without the burden of crushing debt payments and compounding interest. They can more easily realize their career goals and contribute to society, enriching us all. This is a measure that will save the average graduate up more than $400 every year. And that's a real benefit for young families saving for their first home. Mr. Speaker, I could go on, but the sooner we pass this legislation, the sooner more help will begin to flow to Canadians that need help the most. So I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting Canadians, and let's pass this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.